Alright, so it's time for another tale from the Dungeon Master. And then we're heading right back into the Apocalypse Squad with the Hell Invasion. Now, I'm going to be completely honest. This is going to be a multi-part story because, this was meant to be the end of the Apocalypse Squad. And I ended up doing like 2 or 3 more stories after that because players would come to me with some interesting ideas that they'd want to put the Apocalypse Squad through. But this is where it was all supposed to end. Now, this was heavily inspired by the original Doom 2 Hell on Earth, where a bunch of portals opened to hell all over this planet. So much so that the demons pretty much overran the world. The Pathfinder planet, the planet of Golarion, was essentially another branch of hell. And everything was taken over. All of the cities, all of the allies the Apocalypse Squad had built up, all were fighting these demons. So the Apocalypse Squad, at that point, they had no home. They had no allies. And they were rushing to figure out what they needed to do. So the team is asking the monk, whom I now remember why I can't remember his name. It's because he didn't have one. See, way back when he was first becoming a known demon slayer, he abandoned his name, just calling himself the monk, and he had a cleric friend of his that followed him into hell. He had the cleric weave symbols of protection into his true name so that beings just couldn't use it against him. So he was either the monk or the demon slayer monk. Well, the Apocalypse Squad was asking, was like, okay, well, this is your area of expertise, what do I do? And the monk's just like, I just kill them. I don't really understand their plans. So they're trying to make plans, and they decided to head back to the city in the sky, which is, of course, overrun with demons. Now, they're doing their best, but, there's not much they can do. So the Apocalypse Squad, they enter battle alongside these Aesir in this order of paladins, and they realize that the only thing that they can do now is try and close the rift, which, of course, is Jardon's specialty. So they put in all of this effort, fighting off demons, protecting Jardon, doing everything they can to close this rift. And they eventually do. And between Marcus's order, Marcus himself, and Minerva, they managed to cleanse the demonic taint, essentially making this a holy sanctuary for the party. And they kind of figure out what they need to do. So they start talking to the clerics and the paladins and trying to get in contact with the gods above. Just something that they can do, something that they can use to fight. And they finally get an answer. The monk has to reclaim his true name, and not just that, but he has to unweave the demonic runes in his flesh. That's the only way that he's going to be able to fight at his true strength against these demons. And of course, the monks is like, I can't do that. This makes me extremely powerful. This makes me able to take them on at their level at all times. So they kind of figure, it's like, well, what if we change the demonic ruins into angelic? Shift where you draw your power. And he's like, okay, that would be cool, but how would we do that? And he's like, well, you need to reclaim your true name. So the Apocalypse Squad has their story set. They need to close the rifts, reclaim their allies, regain the monk's true name, and turn his demonic runes into angelic ones. Now, the problem is that the monk doesn't remember where he needs to go or what he needs to do to regain his true name, to unweave those sigils of protection from it that would allow him to just find out what it is. Because his true name is what's going to need to be required in order to change the nature of these ruins. So they kind of put that idea on the back burner because what they're going to need to start reclaiming cities and reclaiming allies. But that's kind of going to be always on their minds. But for now, they're still planning on where they need to go next. They obviously need to go reclaim their allies under the sea, the allies in the mountain, the allies in the Underdark, all that. So, but that's it for now. Look forward to the next step where we start cycling back through the previous stories and reclaim their new allies. Till next time, take care.